This was a one-off Channel 4 drama, almost like documentary drama. I
In the
felt
same
again
style as
as
The
Watchman.
Watchmen and The People Next Door.
This starred Indira Varma as a lady who had recently got divorced and had met a younger man played by Luke Treadaway or Treadway.
Either or.
He's like a male nurse. He's very sort of charming and funny, and she's got two kids. A girl called Katie, I think her name was, who's 11, almost 12, and a young boy as well of about sort of 10. Basically, you get to any Luke Treadway fans get to see him coming out of the shower within the first minute, which I felt was a bit excessive. But it starts with Friday and her sort of taking the kids to school. Katie is a bit sort of, she's withdrawn. She's not speaking to her mum. We learn that this is the weekend that their dad's got the kids, played by Neil Maskell, the dad. She looks at her phone and there's a text saying there's something inappropriate going on with Danny.
Danny, yeah.
There's something going on between Danny and
That doesn't
Katie.
sound right either, but I'm sure it is.
It is, because this is on the IMDb cast list. So
Okay, fair enough. I trust them.
there's something going on between Dan, and it's not, they don't go into details or anything like that, but they just say, there's something going on, and it's not right. This text comes from an unknown number. She tries to ring it, she tries to trace it, nothing's happening,
Are
she's
you
paranoid.
one of these people that doesn't answer unknown numbers? I never understand this. Are you one of those people that, if you see an unknown number come up on your mobile, will you ignore it on purpose because it's unknown?
What I tend to do, because a lot of these are just, if it's like a landline number, normally I would ignore it because it's normally someone trying to sell me something, and I would not answer and then ring it back, because normally if you
Okay.
ring back one of these numbers, it is
Yeah.
just an automated. You were called today, but
Yeah, I can
and
get that.
then I block it. But if I ring back and it is someone, then
What if
that's
it's a
why
mobile, though, that you don't recognise?
I will sometimes answer it. Yeah,
If I get a phone call, I
yeah,
just
you
need to
answer the
know who
phone.
it is. I can't not know. It will bug me. And if you
Mm.
get unknown name, unknown caller, and you miss the call, that is so frustrating. So in
Uh,
this, she didn't know who
who
was
it was.
sending this call, this
Mm.
number. And to be fair, she did bring it back, and it went to voicemail
Yeah.
every time.
But it was sort of like a mystery number. You didn't know who it was. She thought she was paranoid. It might be one of the other mums at the school. It might be like one of the neighbours, someone that Danny knows. And it sort of builds up. She starts going through Katie's social media, like starts reading into every like interaction that they've had, basically, Danny and
Mm.
Katie. And could there be something going on? She rings like a support number, and they're a little worried, and it sort of culminates in a she basically tells him, doesn't she, this is how, has anything happened?
Mm.
And she says, should we just go to the police, is this harassment? And he doesn't want to, and it's his sort of not wanting to put himself out there that makes her suspicious, and she asks him outright and he leaves. And then should we just
Do you
reveal the
think? I
ending?
don't know whether to reveal. I don't think we should, to be fair,
No.
because that might have interested people.
Okay.
All I will say about it is I enjoyed it. The performances were really good by all the central leads. I just don't know what the point of it was, and I hate feeling like that at the end of dramas lately. I hate getting to the end of something, whether I've watched it for an hour or six, in the case of something like Liar, and going, why did I bother? And
I didn't feel like that at the end of Liar, because you haven't really talked about the end of Liar. Why did you feel like that at the end of Liar?
Well,
I'm
I
interested.
just felt like as soon as they revealed the liar, which took guts to do in the midway point, that they were sort of angling for a second series, and it went more manic and more nuts as it went on, and moved as far away from the sort of genuine intrigue that I had in episode
So
one.
what
was
would you have
bonkers.
liked from this?
I don't know. Well, I suppose. I see. We can't really talk about it without revealing the
Yeah.
end.
So the end
So,
basically, Kate.
yeah, reveal the end. If you don't want to hear, stop the podcast here, because we are going to reveal the
Stop
end.
the podcast and come back in
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Press pause. Turn it over to side two, and then you can listen.
She decides after Danny leaves, she goes to Des, the ex-husband played by Neil Maskell's
Not
house.
seen him
And
in a long time.
yeah, I was trying to think. Was would it be Humans, or has he been in
Probably,
something
yeah.
since?
I feel like that's it.
I was struggling to believe that he and Indira Varma would have been a couple at any point.
I just feel that Indira Varma would not be with anyone called Des as well. I struggled with that.
You know, Katie's not has been withdrawn all weekend. He says, I don't know if there's something going on with her, so she goes up and she basically reveals that, oh, you know, Dad's keeps asking questions about Danny. He wants to know, you know, is he giving me money and stuff like that. Des comes into the room. She sort of ushers him back, and he says, like, I want to know about Danny. You know, he's moved into my house. You know, my daughter's 11 years old. There's this new man. You know, you barely know him. You've only known him a year. And then she rings the number again, and it turns out it's his phone, and he's been sort of putting this paranoia in her head. And at the end, you know, her kids are safe in bed. She's still with Danny, but there's that sort of, there's almost like a tension there, isn't there, that she has thought this about him, and would their relationship be the same? So that was the ending. Not an ambiguous one, because it was just a lie that had been told. I suppose it's a bit like, I mean, this is what I would compare it to. Would be that film The Hunt with
I could see that. This is my biggest problem, and it's not really a fault of the drama, because they only had an hour, and that's with ads as well. There weren't a ton of ads.
Yeah, it was 46 minutes. I watched it on all four.
Because it was an hour, you can't gain a relationship very easily or care very deeply. The performances were very good. It felt very realistic. I believed it all. But in the same instance, I didn't have the relationship with Neil Maskell to go, oh my god, I can't believe he did it.
Yeah.
And I just, and you know,
I get what you're saying. Yeah, because
I just sort of felt like if I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have missed anything.
No, I agree.
I don't see what the point was.
It's a bit like The Watchman in that regard. That was good. That was well acted. But you don't remember anything about that, really, do you?
I have no recollection of it, apart from him being behind a desk in a...
Yeah. That was a bit more. That was a bit more inventive, because they used like the cameras and stuff like that in his. You know, it was him becoming a voyeur, and I found that a bit more interesting. This, as you are right, that because it was so short, maybe this could have been a 90-minute. You didn't really know Katie. You only really spent time with her.
You saw her in a tiny flashback where she's sort of saying things, or Danny's a bit, I don't want to say. Then you saw her being moody on her bed at her dad's house. I don't really know what they're trying to say with these hour-long dramas. I don't know, like, if we tried to describe the point of them, I don't know what it was. If I'd have watched anything else than this, I'd have probably had a better time. I would never think about this again.
No.
And that's not what a good TV drama should be. No. And even documentaries that I probably won't watch again, I'll still think about them from time to time. This would be gone out of my brain if we weren't doing a podcast from the moment it finished on screen. I don't see what the point of it was.
Would it been better if there was some ambiguity? Would you remember it? Because this was sort of a finite ending that, no, he wasn't.
No, you know me, I'm always a fan of give me a reason to know what happened. But I just think
Des had nothing to do with it. Katie had denied it, but then there was that sort of doubt in your mind at the end.
But wouldn't there have been even less point to that?
I suppose.
There would have been, because then you don't know any more than you did when it started. So
but I think you're still thinking about it then, aren't you? You're still...
Yeah, no.
How much do you really, I suppose then you're back to liar territory, aren't you?